Hello, I'm Ian, Somerset News Network. We haven't heard anything for a few days about the American trade deal. The tariffs have been put on hold for a number of days, so we don't know quite what's happening there. Countries are lining up with Trump to get the trade deal, and Trump's going to do it. It might end up that there's a 5% tariff across the board for the ones that have done the deal. Now, we know Starmer went over to meet Trump and was in the Oval Office and handed him a letter from the King. Oh, what a creep, eh? Wasn't he a creep? He said he was going to get a trade deal. He came back and said, oh, we can get a trade deal. Rumour has it that him and Lammy and Peter Mandelson, Peter Mandelson, who's now our ambassador to America. That's a joke, isn't it? Right? We're cooking up a scheme to get Trump, to embarrass Trump. That hasn't worked. So we are left in the cold. Rumour has it that Trump is not going to do the trade deal because of our freedom of speech. We've put people in jail for Facebook posts, for Twitter and YouTube videos. We have the freedom of speech. I keep on about it. Freedom of speech and debate under the Bill of Rights, Article 9. We have it in writing. It's our Constitution. Starmer is a lawyer. He must know this. But he chooses to ignore it and not upheld it. He takes an oath when he becomes an MP to uphold the rights and liberties of the subjects and our Constitution, which is the Bill of Rights. To renege on that, he should be able to be taken to court and fined and removed from office. Trump has highlighted this. But the lawyers, the advocates for free speech, they keep talking about freedom of expression. Well, freedom of expression is not mentioned in our Constitution. It's freedom of speech and debate. Why do they say this? Because freedom of expression is Napoleonic. It comes from the European Court of Human Rights, which unfortunately we signed up to, which I think was illegal, because the Bill of Rights also says that no foreign power can rule over us. So we've got to sort out our freedom of speech so that we can get the trade deal. The trade deal and the tariffs are not Trump's fault. Trump is standing up for America, which he said he would when he was elected. America first. We have to work with him. We have to do a deal. Starmer, Lammy, Peter Mandelson, etc., think they're going to pull one over on the lad. You know, it's ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. The state we are in is the fault of Starmer. Starmer has got to go, I'm afraid. This country can't stand another 4 years of this. He is going to turn this country into a Marxist state. He's already got the police force, like I said, putting people in prison for Facebook posts. This is how Germany started in the late 1920s and into the early 30s. They had the brown shirts and the Gestapo. And if you said anything against the Nazi Party, which is the National Socialist Workers' Party, they would put you in the Gulag, in the concentration camps. You know, you may not have been gassed, but you would have been slave labour. That's what's happening to this country. Can't you see what's happening and what's going on? I tried to get the Free Speech Union to help me out when I had the problems with the police. And as soon as I started talking about freedom of speech and debate and the Bill of Rights, they said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't think we can help you," and pulled out. Freedom of expression at the time of the Bill of Rights was the freedom of religion. Jewish, Catholic, Protestant. John Locke talked about the freedom of expression, which was religion. Freedom of religious expression. The Bill of Rights talks about the freedom of speech and debate. And we ought to be talking about the freedom of speech and drop this idea of freedom of expression. We can't allow a foreign body to rule over us because of the Bill of Rights. Trump knows this. Trump is really on our side. But after Starmer sent 200 Labour staff over to campaign for Kamala Harris, he got it in for us. Well, he got it in for Starmer anyway. Starmer's got to start growling, being a Prime Minister and doing it for the good of the country. Not for the good of him or the Labour Party or its Marxist ideals. Anyway, I've said enough. Ian, bye-bye for now.